Hi guys, I'm back with another lecture of macroeconomics, and in this lecture we're going to talk about public expenditure. So before we start, just a brief introduction about myself. So I'm Sandhya Rao, working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. So far, we have covered the nature of fiscal policy, fiscal deficit, and today we're going to talk about the public debt and how we manage it, what are the objectives, how we overcome the problems that comes in the management of public debt. All right, so let's get started. Yeah. So public debt is basically the amount that the government borrows to meet the fiscal deficit. We have covered in the last lecture that fiscal deficit means, when the government expenditure exceeds the government revenue. And government usually spends for the welfare of the society. They have to construct several projects. They also have to give subsidies to the producers. So in all the things, government utilizes the revenue that they have generated from their taxes. So they generate the revenues from taxes, mainly direct or indirect taxes, and they utilize that for the welfare of the public. So when the expenses are more than the income, then fiscal deficit arises. And to cover up the deficit, the government raises debt. Okay, now the debt can be raised either internally or externally. By internally, I mean that they can raise it from the country itself, and externally, when they raises the money from outside, as in the foreign countries. So it is the liability of the union government that have to be paid from the consolidated funds of India. Again, it's a liability. Debt is treated as a liability, okay, because we have to pay interest on it, and it's an obligation. So, government can raise the funds either by issuing market loans or by special bearer bonds, by treasury bills, special loans, and any other external debt. Okay. So, these are the tools by which we can raise the debt. Now, why we actually raise the public debt, or how it. Okay, so public debt means that when we are raising funds. Now, public debt management means effectively managing the process of establishing and executing an effective policy for managing the public debt portfolio. Okay, so यहाँ पे we'll try to ensure कि हमारे पास proper tools है. We are using the efficient tools to raise the funds, and also हमारी जो cost of borrowing है वो कम हो जाए. So if we are trying to ensure all these things, then that is known as public debt management. So public debt management helps in achieving cost and risk objectives. Cost and risk objectives, as in, see, when you are going to increase your public debt, it actually puts a burden on the country, and also it presents a very it affects the image of the country in the outside world. For example, if a country is constantly गोइंग फॉर एक्सटर्नल डेट, अगर बार बार आप जो है एक्सटर्नली लोन जो है वो रेज कर रहे हैं, फंड्स रेज कर रहे हैं, तो व्हाट हैपन इज इट प्रेजेंट्स अ बैड पिक्चर. क्योंकि अगर आप उस लोन को रीपे नहीं कर पा रहे हो, एंड आपकी जो इन्वेस्टमेंट्स है जहाँ पे आप उस फंड्स को लेकर कर रहे हो, अगर वो एफिशिएंट नहीं है, वो वर्क अच्छे से रिटर्न नहीं दे रहा है आपको, देन इन दैट केस नेक्स्ट टाइम नो अदर कंट्री इज गोइंग टू गिव यू लोन. ठीक है, कोई भी अगर एक नॉर्मल लेमैन लैंग्वेज में इफ आई ट्राई टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस, देन even if you ask for some money from your friend, he will give it to you the first time. If you are not going to repay the amount, then maybe next time he'll be hesitating to give you the money, and maybe in the third or fourth time he'll strictly say that no, I'm not going to give you any money because you haven't repaid the previous amount. So just like that, uh, even the foreign countries would say no to lending money to any other country if they are constantly not repaying the existing loan. So that is again increasing the cost of borrowing, and also it becomes a very risky thing to do. So that is why if you are effectively managing the public debt, then it will definitely help you to reduce your cost and risk. Again, you will be able to manage or maintain an efficient debt market, and you will be able to raise the required amount of fund if you're doing it efficiently. अगर आप जो amount raise कर रहे हैं, जो भी funds आपने loan में लिया है, if you are utilizing it, if you are investing it in good projects, then definitely it is going to help you. Because if your return is going to exceed the cost, तो डेफिनेटली फ्यूचर में आप उनको रिटर्न भी अच्छा दे पाओगे, और अपनी अमाउंट को आप टाइम पे दे पाओगे, आपकी गुडविल क्रिएट हो जाएगी, योर क्रेडिट वर्दीनेस विल इम्प्रूव. Okay, the next thing is it also helps in the reduction of exchange rate fluctuations. What happens is if you continue to, if you fail continuously to repay the amount of loan, then in that case the currency will devalue. ठीक है, क्योंकि आप जो है वो amount को repay नहीं कर पा रहे हो, बार बार अगर debt लेते जाओगे, तो it will definitely affect the foreign exchange rates. ठीक है, आपकी currency जो है वो शायद depreciate हो सकती है, devalue हो सकती है in respect to a foreign currency. So अगर आप उसको effectively manage करोगे, then definitely you will be able to maintain a stable exchange rate. So there won't be much fluctuations. Definitely small fluctuations are always there and you cannot avoid them, but any major fluctuation won't be there. Then the next thing is a country which goes on to increase the public debt puts a lot of burden on the citizens in the form of raised taxes. Now again, if the government raises funds, either externally or internally, in either case, they are going to put the burden on the public because वो जो भी loan raise करेंगे उसको pay करने के लिए उसको जो return pay करना है वो कहाँ से आएगा government को? Obviously, they will have to increase their revenue, and the only major source of government revenue is taxes. So definitely they are going to increase the taxes and the burden of tax will be levied on the public. So again, it's a very complex kind of a thing because ये जो गवर्नमेंट ने सारा पब्लिक डेफिसिट जो इनकर किया ये पब्लिक के लिए किया था because they were spending more for the public welfare. And now to cover up the deficit, now that they have taken loan from other countries and from the RBI also, in that case उस लोन को बेयर करने के लिए, उस लोन को पे ऑफ करने के लिए अब वो फिर से हमारे ऊपर टैक्सेस का बर्डन डाल देंगे. So it's a very crucial kind of a thing. So the government have to take these measures taking into account all the factors. ठीक है, जो भी सारे factors हैं सबको देखने के बाद जो है गवर्नमेंट को ये डिसाइड करना चाहिए कि उनको कितना पब्लिक डेट लेना है, कितना उनको टैक्सेस रेज करने हैं, whatever. Next thing is why the government actually raises the fund. This I've already explained you that the government raises funds for mainly two reasons. One, to meet the fiscal deficit, क्योंकि हमारा budget का deficit हुआ था, there was no surplus. The second thing is to meet the expenses of war and other extraordinary situations. There are times, you know, when the government have to take these kinds of loans in the cases of special कोई भी अगर ऐसी occurrence हो जाती है. For example, in the present case, if I give you the example of present scenario, तो अभी जो COVID-19 की situation है, इसमें the government have already taken a loan, huge amount of loan, public debt लिया गया है. Why? Because it's an extraordinary situation. एक pandemic आया हुआ है country के अंदर. So to meet that उस situation को overcome करने के लिए, or to meet the expenses during this time, we have taken loan. Okay, so it can be this would come under the extraordinary situations. Also in the cases of war, जब war का time होता है, even in that time the government have to raise funds from other countries because उस time पे क्या होता है, हमारे जो economy होती है वो उस time इतना ज़्यादा work नहीं कर पा रही थी because हमारा full focus जो होता है, हमारे सारे resources, हमारा सारा funds जो है वो war में लग जाता है. So to ensure that you know एक flow बना रहा है, एक smooth flow बना रहा है, so for that the government have to take loan. And most of the countries have raised funds to suffice the losses incurred during the times of war. So during the British rule in India, the public debt had to be raised to construct railways, irrigation projects, etc. अगर कोई भी major project अगर if it has to be taken up by the government, then definitely they will have to borrow funds from other countries. Also, post independence, we have raised public debt to meet the cost of 5-year developmental plans. हमने कुछ developmental plans जो हमने हमारा 5-year developmental plans है उनको भी execute करने के लिए also we have to take loan. And there are many other examples. So what I'm trying to say is that these are the only two situations when the government take loan. And the major reason या तो जो बहुत ही prominent reason रहता है वो यही होता है कि fiscal deficit जो है वो आता है because every government runs into fiscal deficit. बहुत rare case में होता है जब government जो है वो fiscal surplus जो है वो run करते हैं. And it's not a bad thing. You cannot say that if a government is having fiscal deficit then it's a bad country or they're not doing any kind of development. It's a good sign because that means कि government जो है वो expenditure कर रही है, government is doing spending, government is spending on the welfare of the economy. So that's a good sign. But you should be able to generate revenues from those projects. अगर आपने जो भी incur किया है cost अपनी जो भी लगाई है, you should be able to recover that cost in the subsequent years. So this is it. Then the next thing is how we actually manage the debt. You know, how can we manage the debt? So far we have understood that, you know, what public debt is and why we actually have to raise it. Now, how we are going to manage it? So these are 8 points that we're going to cover. First is reduction in primary deficit, then reduction in the growth of current expenditure, then raising efficiency of borrowing programs of the central government, reforms in the debt market of states, foreign institutional investors in public debt, consolidated sinking fund, improving the state of debt market, disinvestment policy, and proper monitoring of expenditure. So starting with the first one, that is reduction in primary deficit. So first of all, primary deficit means कि whatever is your current year's fiscal deficit minus the interest that you have paid on the borrowings of last year. Okay? अगर आपकी कोई भी existing borrowings थी जो आपकी past borrowings हैं, उन पे if you have paid any interest in the current year, then you will deduct that amount and you will get the primary deficit. So this basically means कि आपका इस ईयर का एग्जैक्टली कितना फिजिकल डेफिसिट आ रहा है. ठीक है. सो दिस ट्राइज टू टेल यू दैट फिजिकल डेफिसिट, इसको आप ग्रॉस डेफिसिट भी बोल सकते हो. सो प्राइमरी डेफिसिट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट नीड्स टू बी कंट्रोल्ड. इसका मतलब ये है कि आप अभी जो एग्जिस्टिंग जो आपने अभी जो फ्रेश जो डेफिसिट इनकर किया है उसको आपको कंट्रोल करना है ताकि आप फ्यूचर में भी उसको बढ़ने ना दो. नाउ हाउ वी कैन डू इट, दिस कैन बी डन इन 2 ways. First is that you have to reduce the debt GDP ratio. Now debt GDP ratio का मतलब होता है debt upon GDP, which means that which tries to tell you कि आपकी जो भी debt ली गई है उसको आप कितना repay कर सकते हो और what's the paying capacity of any country. ठीक है, given their GDP. अब उनकी GDP कितनी है उसके बेसिस पे हमें पता चल जाएगा that whether this country will be able to repay the debt or not. And higher the debt GDP ratio, bad is the condition. क्योंकि अगर बहुत ज्यादा रेशियो हाई है इसका मतलब ये है कि डेट आपकी बहुत ज्यादा हाई है एज कंपेयर टू द जीडीपी ऑफ योर कंट्री. ओके, बिकॉज इन दिस केस आपका न्यूमरेटर ज्यादा है, डिनोमिनेटर कम है, सो द रेशियो विल बी हायर. And in the reverse situation, when the ratio is low, which means that your GDP is more and your debt is less. So this represents a good situation. Why? Because यहाँ पे आपकी जो public debt ली गई है, क्योंकि आपकी income जो है वो ज्यादा है, so you will be in a position to repay the debt. आपकी एक sound position है, आपने revenue sufficiently generate कर लिए हैं उस debt से, उस cost से incur करके, so you will be able to pay off it. But जो आपकी former वाली situation थी, in that case it will be slightly difficult for you to repay the funds. तो ये एक credit worthiness का indicator है. So if you have to maintain your or if you have to manage the public debt, then you will have to lower down this ratio. इसको कम करना पड़ेगा. अब इसको कम कैसे करोगे? इसको कम करने का एक ही रीजन है that you have to pay off your existing debts और future में आगे raise नहीं करनी है. Now if you have to repay the existing ones, how you are going to do it? You will have to increase your revenues. So which means कि आपको अपने tax rates जो हैं वो बढ़ाने पड़ेंगे. Okay. Then the next thing is revenue expenditure should be funded from revenue income. This is a very basic kind of a thing. We have already done it in financial accounting also, that you know short-term expenses should be covered from the short-term income and long-term expenses should be covered from long-term income. जो आपका capital और revenue का जो classification हम करते हैं expenditure में, revenue nature expenses जो होते हैं they are short-term in nature and capital expenditure are long-term in nature. Also, capital expenditure give rises to a new asset and revenue expenses do not give rise to any asset. जैसे for example आपने salary pay करी या tax pay करो तो it's not creating any new asset. But if you are doing a capital expenditure, आपने कोई machinery खरीदी है, कोई plant खरीदा है, defense equipments purchase करे हैं, then they are creating a new asset. Okay, because machinery is obviously a asset, एक नया asset create हो रहा है. तो जो आपकी जो आपका money outflow हुआ है to purchase that machinery, वो expense आपका एक नया asset create कर रहा है. So that is why that will be treated as a capital expenditure and the benefit that you're going to get from such a expenditure will last for several years. 1 साल से ज़्यादा जो है आप उसका benefit जो है वो derive करते हो. So classification करने के बाद one very important thing that we have to make sure is that all the revenue expenses should be covered from the revenue nature income only, or capital expenditure should always be covered from the capital nature income. ठीक है? So these are the two things by which we can control the fiscal deficit. ठीक है? जो आपका primary deficit होता है उसको काफी हद तक हम इससे कम कर सकते हैं. The next thing is reduction in the growth of current expenditure. Again, whatever is your current expenditure, you have to reduce it substantially. It's a mistake over here. It should be capital expenditure and not revenue expenditure. All right, and also merely increasing taxes will not help the economy. So the government should also aim at reducing the subsidy and liquidation of public expenditure. सिर्फ अगर आप ये सोच रहे हो कि आप अपना रेवेन्यू बढ़ा दोगे, अपने टैक्सेस रेज कर सकते, देन दैट इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क, बिकॉज पीपल यूजुअली दे हैव द साइकोलॉजी कि अगर उनके ऊपर आप टैक्सेस का बर्डन ज्यादा डाल दोगे तो दे विल गो अगेंस्ट यू. तो द गवर्नमेंट हैव टू मेंटेन अ बैलेंस. उनको अपना जो एक्सपेंडिचर है वो भी डेफिनेटली कम करना पड़ेगा, एंड थोड़ा सा स्लाइटली ऊपर नीचे अपने टैक्स रेट्स को वो कर सकते हैं, बट ज्यादा नहीं कर सकते. ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि हम अपने एक्सपेंडिचर को बिल्कुल भी कम ना करें और टैक्सेस को ही ऑल्टर करें, देन दैट इज आल्सो नॉट गोइंग टू हेल्प इन द लॉन्ग रन. सो द गवर्नमेंट शुड आल्सो एम एट रिड्यूसिंग सब्सिडीज कम करनी चाहिए, और जो पब्लिक डेट है उसको कम करना है. ऑल्सो दे शुड ऑल्सो गो फॉर प्राइवेटाइजेशन इन केस ऑफ द सेक्टर्स विच आर नॉट परफॉर्मिंग वेल. जो अंडर परफॉर्मिंग सेक्टर्स हैं गवर्नमेंट के, दे शुड ट्राई टू लिक्विडेट देम, या तो उनमें डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट कर दो, privatize kar do, which will help to lower down the expenditure. The next thing is raising efficiency of borrowing programs of central government, which is very important. The government जो वो tools का use करते हैं, the kind of tools that they use to raise the funds. For example, treasury bills is the latest development, जिसमें कि आपने जो अपनी dates रखी हुई हैं, जो आपकी maturity dates हैं, it ranges from 28 days, 28, then we have 91, 182 and 364 days T-bills. तो इसमें भी आपकी जो एक्सपायरी है वो नहीं, मतलब जो आपको इंटरेस्ट है वो नहीं मिलता है एक्सपायरी से पहले. एंड ऑल्सो दीज काइंड ऑफ सिक्योरिटीज आर सोल्ड एट डिस्काउंट. जो आपकी पार वैल्यू होती है उससे डिस्काउंटेड रेट्स पे आपको ये मिल जाते हैं. तो इट्स अ वेरी एफिशिएंट टूल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. तो ऐसे और भी टूल्स जो है वो गवर्नमेंट को लाने चाहिए, सो दैट दे आर इम्प्रूविंग, दे आर increasing the efficiency of the borrowing programs. जो भी आप securities issue कर रहे हो, they should be efficient enough, जिसमें government को भी profit हो and definitely जो आपके investors हैं उनको भी हो. So basically we are trying to increase the efficiency of the borrowing programs. Then and ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा flexibility होनी चाहिए उन tools के अंदर. They should not be very rigid. Then the next thing is reforms in the debt management of states. It has been observed कि जो central level पे या जो national level पे जो हमारे programs होते हैं, they are more efficient, they are more flexible. And जो आपके funds raising programs होते हैं for the state level, they are comparatively less flexible and वो ज़्यादा efficient नहीं होते हैं. So उनके पास ज़्यादा scope नहीं होता है कि वो competitive interest rates पे जो है ये funds को avail कर सके. So again, state government should also try to improve the efficiency of their tools of raising funds. जो भी वो measures use कर रहे हैं, जो भी वो securities issue कर रहे हैं, उनकी efficiency improve करनी चाहिए. Then the next thing is foreign institutional investors and public debt. Public debt में हम foreign institutional investors को भी allow करने लग गए हैं अभी, and बट उनका जो एक्सेस है वो लिमिटेड है. वी ओनली अलाउ देम टू इन्वेस्ट इन डेटेड गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटीज. नाउ डेटेड गवर्नमेंट मींस कि जिनकी एक फिक्स्ड मैच्योरिटी डेट होती है व्हिच कैरीज अ फिक्स्ड रेट. तो अगर आपका फिक्स्ड रेट है तो ही उन्हीं सिक्योरिटीज में जो है वो इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. ओके, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द एफडीआई ओवर हियर. डोंट get confused with FDI and this public debt. FDI is a totally different concept. वहाँ पे ऐसी कोई restriction नहीं है कि आप वहाँ पे foreign institutional investors को full ownership मिलती है FDI में. And although वहाँ पे भी कुछ sectors हैं जो reserved हैं जहाँ पे foreign investors जो है नहीं invest कर सकते हैं, but जिनमें भी उनको access दिया गया है वहाँ पे full ownership rights होते हैं. एंड दिस इज अ डिफरेंट थिंग. यहाँ पर हम पब्लिक डेट की बात करें तो यहाँ पे दे ओनली हैव एक्सेस टू डेटेड गवर्नमेंट सिक्योरिटी व्हिच कैरीज अ फिक्स्ड रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, so they can invest in only those securities. Then next thing is consolidated sinking fund. Consolidated sinking fund means, if I try to break this term, consolidated means जब आप बहुत सारी चीजों को जोड़ते हो, consolidate करते हो, and sinking fund basically means कि जब आप एक pool create कर रहे हो funds का, ताकि जब भी कोई problem आए, situation आए in the time of hardship, the government can utilize these funds. So it reduces the hardship at the time of maturity of debt. आपके पास जब आपका मेच्योरिटी डेट आएगा तो आपको ये नहीं सोचना पड़ेगा दैट हाउ एम आई गोइंग टू रीपे दिस डेट, दिस ह्यूज डेट, क्योंकि आपने ऑलरेडी एक फंड, एक कंसोलिडेटेड सिंकिंग फंड क्रिएट करके रखा हुआ था. तो एवरी ईयर यू वर सेटिंग ऑफ सम अमाउंट जो आप उसको बाद में पे करने के लिए अलग करते जा रहे थे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे हमारा डिवेंचर रिडेम्पशन रिजर्व होता है, तो जस्ट लाइक दैट कंसोलिडेटेड सिंकिंग फंड है ये कि इफ यू हैव टू रीपे द अमाउंट एट अ फ्यूचर पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, तो उसके लिए आप पहले से प्रिपेयर हो रहे हो. दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन द कंटिंजेंसी अप्रोच कि हम फ्यूचर लॉसेस को या हम एक कंटिंजेंट अप्रोच लेकर चल रहे हैं कि हम हमेशा रिजर्व्स क्रिएट करके रखेंगे फॉर द फ्यूचर लॉसेस. ओके, सो अगेन जो ये भी हमारा सेंट्रल लेवल पर जो है ये चीज को ऑपरेट किया जाता है. स्टेट लेवल पे इस चीज को इतना एफिशिएंटली वर्क नहीं कर, एप्लीकेबल नहीं है इतना एफिशिएंटली. सो वी हैव टू इंश्योर दैट इट्स एप्लीकेबल एट ऑल द लेवल्स, स्टेट या और लोकल बॉडीज पे भी जो है. सेंट्रल लेवल पे तो है ही एप्लीकेबल, तो बाकी लेवल्स पे भी ये एप्लीकेबल होना चाहिए. Next is disinvestment policy. This is very common that those sectors which are underperforming, the government should think about taking off their stake. अपना stake जो है वो liquidate कर दो. अगर वो less than 50% हो जाएगा, then ultimately automatically वो privatize हो जाएगी organization. So underperform जब कर रही है कोई organization, तो what happens is that it puts a lot of burden on the government. और वो ही एक major reason है कि आपका जो ये fiscal deficit जो है ये आता है, because आपका वहां पर कोई एसेट कुछ क्रिएट नहीं हो रहा है. इट्स मेयर लॉस. वो एक सिर्फ एक लॉस को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है, उसमें कोई भी बेनिफिट नहीं है कि फ्यूचर में आपको बेनिफिट होगा कि अभी 4 साल लॉस इनकर कर लेते हैं उसके बाद हमें रिटर्न मिलेगा. ऐसा कुछ तो होता नहीं है. वो अंडर परफॉर्मिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होती हैं जब एम्प्लॉयज जो है वो लिथार्जिक हो जाते हैं, दे आर नॉट अपनी ऑब्लिगेशंस को पूरा नहीं कर रहे होते हैं या अपने काम को ढंग से नहीं कर रहे होते हैं. तो इन दैट केस इट्स बेटर कि प्राइवेटाइज कर दो, बिकॉज प्राइवेटाइजेशन में कंपटीशन लेवल जब आता है तो पीपल बिकम एफिशिएंट ऑन देयर ओन. And government sector may have been observed that most of these organizations which are underperforming ये monopoly play करते हैं. So it is better if they are underperforming, disinvest कर दो. सिक यूनिट्स हैं, उनको रिवाइव नहीं किया जा सकता है, तो उसमें disinvestment कर देनी चाहिए. एंड द गवर्नमेंट शुड थिंक अबाउट investing their funds in other sectors जो कि उनको अच्छा एक fruitful return दे सकते हैं. So this is about how we can manage the public debt. So this is it about this lecture. I hope you have understood it, and if you have any doubt you can ask me. So this is it. All right, thank you guys. And as far as the homework is concerned, so you just have to I'll give you 2 questions. First is that you have to tell me that how we can manage the public debt, and second thing is why is it important, like why is public debt management important. So these are the 2 questions that you're going to do. Thank you.